Hello and welcome to another episode of But Have You Heard About Conspiracy Theory Edition? I'm your host, Courtney, and I'm joined by my wonderful partner, Matt.
Yo!
So today we have a doozy, and when I say it's a doozy, it's one of these that I didn't even know existed.
I'm ready.
All right.
What is it? I must know.
Conspiracy-minded Beatlemaniacs say that Paul McCartney secretly died in 1966. I like that you're laughing.
The fact that he's alive proves that this theory is bullshit.
Wait.
Is he a lizard man, a mole man? What's going on here?
No.
Okay.
Let's go through this because some people got some crazy...
Let's do it.
I won't call these people crazy. I will say that even with current pop culture stuff, when it comes to singers and musicians, you have Taylor Swift and everything she does has some sort of meaning.
How so?
So when she posts something on Tumblr or Facebook or Instagram and she shows off visual images, all of her music videos have some sort of connection and they mean something more than just the music video.
Okay.
So when you have people like that, and that's like our generation in a sense, even though neither one of us are Swifties.
Is this like you listen to a Beatles song backwards and it's the devil telling you to do something?
Well, one of these theories says that, or one of the evidence pieces.
Okay.
Let's go through the nitty-gritty about this theory.
Yeah, let's go.
Paul McCartney apparently secretly died in 1966.
Makes sense.
The other three covered it up. They hired someone that looked like him, sang like him, and somehow had the same magical personality as him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part to me makes me go, it's really hard to duplicate someone's personality as well as mannerisms and their vernacular.
Right.
I'd pick up people's vernacular.
You'd have to have an immaculate impersonator.
That is
impeccable.
Impeccable.
Not to mention an impeccable impersonator. Someone that actually looked like him.
You know, plastic surgery was starting in the 60s, but I don't know. So anyways, let's talk about the clues that Beatlemaniacs have found.
Okay.
So
wait, these are all Beatles fans that think
this.
Lord.
I mean, maybe non-Beatles fans who got a little excited.
Yeah, they're like, they just love a good fucking conspiracy theory.
Don't we all though? First song that we're going to talk about is Taxman. Came out in 1966.
So wait, we're talking about their songs now?
Yes.
Oh boy.
So that's why I'm saying that there are clues hidden in the song.
Paul McCartney's writing songs from beyond the grave.
It's not Paul though. Basically, they're trying, these Beatlemaniacs are these fans.
Oh, what if Paul McCartney's, replacement, let's say, is like being held hostage? He doesn't want to be there, but they're like forcing him to be there.
That is not part of this. You got to let me finish the theory before you go off on these crazy ass tangents.
We'll talk about that later then.
All right. So the song Taxman. George Harrison sings about how he's going to give advice for those who die.
Okay.
And that is supposedly a reference to Paul McCartney. He's giving advice to Paul McCartney, who has died, or his replacement, however you want to take that. Also, the entire Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club album has multiple clues, especially in songs. Mm-hmm. The whole concept of that album, have you ever listened to the album?
Probably not specifically.
I feel like I've listened to certain songs.
Sure.
But I've never listened to the whole thing. I admit I'm not a huge Beatle fan.
Neither.
That shouldn't discredit us from talking about this conspiracy theory. I mean, I think I know all of their songs.
They're worldwide. I mean, if you haven't heard of the Beatles and you've been living under a rock.
Yeah. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. They formed a quote-unquote new band with fictional member Billy Shears. And that is the supposed name of the replacement for Paul McCartney. Mm-hmm. His real name is Billy Shears. In the song A Day in the Life, the lyrics of, I quote, "He blew his mind out in the car," end quote, and the phrase, "Paul is dead, miss him." But you can only hear that second phrase when it's played backwards. So obviously, I would like to push that one out the window. But if we go back to the first lyric from A Day in the Life of "He blew his mind out in the car," John Lennon sings this.
Right.
Another lyric from that album, from the song Strawberry Fields Forever, supposedly John Lennon mumbles, "I buried Paul." Lennon said in interviews it was cranberry sauce and denied that there were any backward messages in the song. So I personally have never played a song backwards because
it seems silly.
We both grew up with cassette tapes as well as CDs. You can't really play them backwards like you could with records.
Right.
Even if you had 8 tracks, those are things you can't do. So I have some records. I've never owned that record of all things.
No, and I've never attempted to play records that I own backwards either. It just seems like, why?
Yeah. And I feel like you're trying to find bad things. So like when, people went to the US Congress, were like, if you play them backwards, there's satanic messages. And I'm like, you're reaching.
Right. You're reaching for sure.
All right. So that concludes the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club album clues. There's more clues.
Oh boy.
So the album cover to 1966's Yesterday and Today featured the Beatles posed among raw meat and disassembled doll parts. Since we have technology, I would love to show you so others, like I'll post this other places too, but I want you to see it.
What the fuck?
It's a weird album cover. I'm not going to say that it's not weird, but it's supposed to basically Paul McCartney died and there's raw meat and
baby parts.
And the baby dolls are supposed to be how he died in a car crash. So the theory is that he died in a car crash.
Okay.
Honestly, I just think they were experimenting with drugs, which is definitely proven. But
sure.
Anyways, that's my fact. So one of the other visuals is that if you place a mirror in front of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album, the words Lonely Hearts on the drum logo actually read 11/9 he died in Roman numerals. And also, if any of you have ever seen the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album cover, it is full of just so much visual stuff. And because there's so many things.
It's like a Where's Waldo?
It is. If you put this backwards in a mirror, this is what it supposedly looks like. And the first couple things means 11/9 he died.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a supposed bloody driving glove, which is supposed to be that Paul McCartney died in a car crash.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a 3-string guitar versus there being 4, because now it went from 3 members to 4.
Okay.
And Paul McCartney is the only one also not holding a brass instrument as well. And he's holding a black Cor Inglis. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, none of this crap means anything.
It's just visually
It's just a bunch of
appeasing.
nonsense, basically.
Yeah. That's it on the visual clues, by the way. So I think it's a stretch to put that in. Like,
100%.
Who thought to put this album cover in the mirror anyways? Like, I feel like somebody was high or drunk listening to this album and did something silly.
Yeah, again, it's just more, nonsense. They're just correlating things that mean nothing just because it's coincidental.
Yep. So the last visual is the Abbey Road cover. And supposedly it looks like a funeral procession. And because Paul McCartney is the one not wearing shoes, it means he's dead. He doesn't have to be there, but everybody else is.
Just means he's not wearing shoes.
Like, maybe he didn't want to wear shoes. Maybe it just looked good. The fact that he chose the prominent positions shouldn't mean anything.
Right.
So my whole thing with this conspiracy theory is that if Paul is dead, then his imposter is still at large. He met and married Linda Eastman.
I mean, he didn't kill him.
Right. But there's somebody in,
that's been impersonating him
for years, like for 50, 60 years now.
Well, I mean, if he was, you're getting some sweet Beatle money.
Like, he didn't have to start the Beatles. He just came in to finish. But then he also was a part of the Wings. So he had Paul McCartney songs on his own.
Yeah, his own shit. It's like, wait, hold on. You're telling me that this guy that's a fake is not only an amazing replacement for him physically and personally, he's also a great musician and songwriter. It's like, why didn't this guy just make his own fucking music then?
Exactly.
Whoever this Billy, whatever his name was.
Billy Shears.
The absurdity of it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like this guy that's a perfect replacement for Paul McCartney. It's like, Billy, whatever your fucking name is, you should have just made your own band or start your oon career as a songwriter and musician.
I feel like this is a slap
so stupid.
I feel like it's a slap in the face to his family because, I mean, he met and married Linda Eastman. Yeah, Paul McCartney's family. Like, Paul's still alive.
Oh, yeah.
He had 4 kids with Linda Eastman before she passed away to breast cancer in 1998. He also released a live album in 93 called Paul is Alive. Obviously, these like Beatlemaniacs that are into this conspiracy theory were like, likely story, Paul. And he also produced more than 20 solo albums. But yeah, that's the end of this conspiracy theory, is that Paul McCartney supposedly is dead and that somebody has been living as him since 1966 and went on to have his own successful career. So I want to just put this in perspective. So you know about the band Milli Vanilli, right?
Okay.
You know about them?
I've heard them.
But you know about the whole, like, they were basically scamming people by lip syncing. So Milli Vanilli's over here lip syncing, and it only took a couple months for that to come out. How is it that we've gone over 50 effing years with Paul McCartney supposedly dead, and no one has come forward and nothing has come out?
It's one of those classic conspiracy theories where it's like the sheer amount of people involved in said cover-up would be astronomical. And not to mention people that like physically know him. Like you're replacing a person with another person. Like you'd think that people that know the guy that aren't part of the cover up, let's say, would be like, that's not Paul.
Or you would think there'd be like some estranged third, second cousin. That's like, that's not Paul. He's supposed to have a mole underneath like his armpit or something.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like you can't fake someone's Like, you could technically fake a lot of stuff. I don't know what technology like was in the 60s as far as like, secret agent bullshit, like fake fingerprints and all that crap. But like, you can't change someone's DNA. You can't change someone's like eye patterns. You
Fingertips.
can't. You can burn your fingertips off, but I don't think you can replace them with new ones.
Right.
You can get like wax tips, I'm sure, for like fake fingers, but like what the?
I mean,
this is like super spy bullcrap. Like,
right.
this
There's
is
no
not
way.
real shit.
I mean, he did sing a song for one of the Bond films, so maybe he learned some secrets that we don't know about.
No, it's just madness.
Definitely, you need a tinfoil hat if you still believe in this theory.
100%.
If this was true, the fact that it lasted more than a year as being a cover-up,
I could get that. I could get behind that they found a body double to like maybe finish a tour or something like that. And they're like,
yeah.
I could see that being plausible. And then the jig was up.
Right.
And then he was proclaimed dead.
Yeah.
After, like, you did a cover up of his death to fake for a year. And then, oh no, he died in a car crash. But even though he died like a year before, that I could believe. But this, no.
No, not going on for decades.
This is too unbelievable of a situation.
Yeah. I feel like if you are, you believe this past, a decade mark, especially when he went on his own, granted, if he didn't venture out on his own and do all that he did on his own.
Yeah, if he retired and never did a thing and just live underground forever, then maybe, again,
it was plausible.
Possible. But
I feel like with
true.
all of the media coverage back, first off, it's the Beatles, like of all bands.
Right.
So for there to be a car crash, there would have been some sort of paparazzi, I would assume.
No doubt. There's probably someone following those guys 24/7, especially in the 60s. Shit.
Let me think about this. I don't think the paparazzi was as ridiculous as it is now.
Maybe not in the UK either. I don't know.
Oh, no, the UK was ridiculous. Like just the royal family, though. The royal family's had it horrible.
I meant for the paparazzi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would say probably like the 80s when you had more tabloid journalism.
Right.
But anyways, any final remarks on Paul McCartney supposedly being dead or alive?
No, I mean, it's completely ridiculous.
I would say there's probably still some people out there that are like, no, that's a body double. Because they refuse to believe.
Anybody that was around when the Beatles were around should be are probably either A, dead, or B, out of their gourd. There's plenty of people that I know that thoroughly enjoy the Beatles, and they're my age or younger.
Yeah.
Because they're such a sensation, So
we can talk about music history on another episode. You can join me on my regular podcast, Matthew.
Nah, I'll do crazy ones instead.
But the change in music where the Beatles really were the first band to use different chords or whatnot, they became such a big sensation because they did many things that were against music theory.
Right. And they have a lot of variety in their repertoire. Yeah. So they hit a lot of different angles with people that enjoy music, which probably led them to being so popular. You might not like every Beatles song, but you like one or two or three or half a dozen, whatever.
Yeah.
You can't love them all, but they have a song for everybody.
I would think so too.
So I don't know, like the whole, then again, back to this guy replacing them, like there's no freaking way. If they were stuck together for the entirety of their musical career, maybe. But the fact that he went on his own, he was so confident that he could do that, it just is like, no.
Yeah.
Like there's no way, unless this Billy guy was also a savant at writing music.
Exactly. And that's where I'm like, this is going to be a no for me. So with that being all said and done, this is your host, Courtney, signing off from another But Have You Heard About Conspiracy Theory edition. Have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.